It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Monday Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast. On this, the 12th day of August 2024, brought to you by MSC Cruises and Will US, the owner of Scooter Out. A couple things before we get to it today, folks. One, I promised this weekend I was going to do a makeup show. Yeah, it didn't happen. So my phone, most of you know I use my phone as my webcam. And it did one of those updates over the weekend that I didn't ask for. It just updated crap. And when it updated stuff, wouldn't recognize the webcam. In other words, I couldn't turn my phone into my camera for live streams or videos. And I mean, I did everything I knew to do. I uninstalled it on my phone. I reinstalled it. I uninstalled it on my computer. I reinstalled it. Nothing. Nada. It would just search. The system would just be searching for the phone that's right there. I even went as far as to go to another system and go through all the downloading and that system and figuring out how to use it and all that crap. It got it so I could try to get caught up on my work. And the new one didn't work. Same thing. So I finally decided it was the phone, the updates to the phone. I started off this morning when I was taping my stories and it wasn't working. So I had to use my old backup camera. You'll notice when we get to the stories, the difference in quality of the picture. And all of a sudden, about 20 minutes ago, it just goes, "Oh, we're back," and started working again. Don't you just love technology? So anyway, that's why I didn't get a show done this weekend. I was going to do one, yeah, but that didn't happen. All right, so we got a bunch of stories this morning. Of course, we got to do another weather update. Thankfully, not for the last storm, for the next one. And some itinerary changes because of that already. Had a bad weekend for overboards, 3 of them. Norwegian helps Juneau flood victims. Protestors force a ship to change its homeport, at least temporarily. Itinerary change for Carnival Vista. As a pods again. Man, are they ever going to get that ship fixed? This is like the 7th or 8th time there have been issues with Carnival Vista. And an excursion canceled. That and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Pretty busy morning, pretty busy show. Today is National Julienne Fries Day. I like fries. I'd rather have some meat on the fries than the Juliennes. They're almost too skinny to me, which means that they're also too greasy. If you're listening via the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from, all the big guys. TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, any of them. Just search for travel and cruise industry news, and voila, up pops the fat travel guy. All right, I debated on how to handle this morning, and I thought I'm just going to flat share it with you. This is from Elizabeth, and to me, it was such a lovely message with the picture. She says, today, as I walked off the ship and just meandered toward Las Ramblas, I realized once again how cool my life is. I just rock up and to most any random city or port in the world and just know where to go and how to get around. I'm thinking the average person from Indianapolis, which she's from originally, would not be able to do that on any given day. They could do it, but it's likely they would never give it a try. And Elizabeth, that's the way I feel. I couldn't put it in better terms how lucky my life is with everything I do. So, girlfriend, I'm with you on that. And of course, then she goes out and celebrates and buys some fancies, some espandrille, whatever that word is. So she went out and spent some of that hard-earned cash while she's over there in Spain. Might be having another announcement from Elizabeth here in the coming days. Just thought I'd mention that as well. So, all right, so we got to start off today. Well, let's do this first. We're going to start off today with the weather right after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. In the weather this morning, we have a disturbance moving rapidly westward. Tropical storm watches issued for Puerto Rico and the nearby islands. Currently located 645 miles east-southeast of Antigua, about 940 miles east-southeast of San Juan, Puerto Rico. Maximum sustained winds are at 30 miles an hour, currently moving to the west at 25 miles an hour. The central pressure is at 1,009 and dropping. The disturbance is expected to move across portions of the Leeward Islands tomorrow and approach the U.S. and British Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico Tuesday evening. Some strengthening is forecast during the next couple of days, and the disturbance is expected to become a tropical depression later today or tonight and become a tropical storm as it nears the Leeward Islands. The current formation chance is 90% over the next 48 hours and 90% over the next 7 days. All indications are that this storm will turn northward toward Bermuda and not affect the continental United States. Just days after Tropical Storm Debbie finally dissipated after disrupting multiple cruises, a new tropical system is developing. Norwegian Cruise Line's Norwegian Breakaway is completely changing its itinerary to avoid the inclement weather. Instead of an Eastern Caribbean voyage, it will be on a Western Caribbean cruise. Instead, Norwegian Breakaway will visit Roatan, Honduras on Tuesday, followed by Harvest Key in Belize on Wednesday, Costa Maya on Thursday, and Cozumel on Friday, and then we'll return after a day at sea to Miami on Sunday, August 18th. Royal Caribbean has announced changes to the Eastern Caribbean itinerary of Icon of the Seas as it sails from August 11th through August 17th, citing adverse weather conditions along the originally planned route. According to the announcement, the cruise line, in consultation with Chief Meteorologist Craig Setzer, has decided to modify the ship's itinerary to ensure the safety and enjoyment of all the passengers. The 7-night round-trip voyage, which departed Miami on Saturday, was set to call on St. Kitts, St. Thomas, and a perfect day at Coco Cay in the Bahamas before completing in Miami. The itinerary, which also featured 3 days at sea, will now focus on Western Caribbean destinations. Cozumel will be the first call today, followed by Roatan, Honduras tomorrow, and Costa Maya, Mexico on Wednesday.
Are you heading to Las Vegas this summer? Explore the Strip in style and comfort with a mobility device rental. Save on mobility scooters, manual wheelchairs, electric wheelchairs, and more. All Vegas mobility rentals are 15% off until August 31st. Call Scootaround toll-free, 888-441-7575, or reserve online. Use code VEGAS15 at checkout and SRN 11137. Scootaround for all your mobility needs.
It was a really bad weekend for man overboard situations. The most recent unfolded on board Carnival Dream on Friday when an unidentified crew member fell overboard approximately 2:30 a.m. local time. The ship was located 82 nautical miles northeast of Rio Lagartos, Mexico. At the time the employee entered the water, Dream was on her way from Cozumel to Galveston, Texas to conclude a 6-day Western Caribbean sailing, which also called in Costa Maya and Belize City. Quick action was taken to notify the relevant authorities to try to rescue the female crew member once it became clear she was not on board, but she has since been declared missing at sea. A Taiwanese cruise guest tragically died after falling overboard from the Norwegian Spirit on Friday. The incident, which occurred during the voyage off the coast of Taiwan, has left both passengers and worldwide viewers in shock, as disturbing video footage captured by fellow passengers was quickly spread online. The passenger, identified only as a man in his 30s, was reportedly traveling alone when he fell from the ship's deck. Despite an immediate search and rescue operation, the man's body was recovered, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. I am not showing the moment the overboard man was caught on camera out of respect for the man's family and loved ones. Also on Friday, a passenger reportedly went overboard from Explore the Seas in the Adriatic, according to several passengers on the ship. Explore the Seas was sailing on a 7-day Greece-Croatia cruise when what is described as a young man went overboard around 3:30 to 4 a.m. There is no description of how the passenger went overboard or from what location. There reportedly was a public announcement on the ship of the incident. AIS data shows the cruise ship changing direction several times as Royal Caribbean began initiating search and rescue efforts. Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, which includes Norwegian Cruise Line, Oceania Cruises, and Regent Seven Seas Cruises, has donated $50,000 to the Juneau Community Foundation following the recent catastrophic flooding. This will provide direct financial assistance to local residents impacted by the flooding, which has been described as the worst in Juneau's history. A group of environmental protesters caused Royal Caribbean's Jewel of the Seas to temporarily change her embarkation port on Saturday. The ship had planned to debark one sailing and begin the next from Amsterdam, but 7 protesters from the group Extinction Rebellion blocked critical locks, and the ship had to debark and embark from Mumuden. While the two ports are only 19 miles apart, this did mean a slight delay for travelers as well as the use of buses to get guests to the ship. Cruise guests boarding Carnival Vista for an 8-night Southern Caribbean itinerary learned as they embarked the ship on Saturday that they will not, in fact, be visiting the planned ports of call. Text messages were sent to guests in the early afternoon, even as some passengers were already on board, about the changes of plans. Carnival Vista is due to depart Port Canaveral on a southern cruise with visits scheduled for Aruba, Curacao, and Grand Turk. Due to mechanical problems, however, the planned itinerary is no longer possible. The ship is experiencing an issue that is affecting its maximum cruising speed. Our engineers are working on a repair plan, the text notification read. While we will be able to sail, it's necessary for us to revise our itinerary. Instead of her Southern Caribbean destinations, Carnival Vista will instead enjoy a Bahamas itinerary with stops to Nassau, Princess Keys, Freeport, and Half Moon Key. The exact times of those visits are still being determined. I would imagine that's some very unhappy cruisers. Cruise lines always have the well-being of their guests and crew members as their top priority, and sometimes they have to make unpopular decisions in order to keep everyone safe. With this in mind, Royal Caribbean has had to disappoint guests on Ovation of the Seas by canceling the popular Endicott Arm Fjord and Glacier Explorer expedition that is hosted in Tracy Arm, Endicott Arm, Alaska, likely due to hazardous conditions. In a letter from the cruise line to impacted guests, due to operational challenges, we're unable to offer the excursion. As a result, we have to cancel your My Royal Cruise reservation for this tour. We're sorry for the inconvenience and apologize for any disruption to your plans. In addition to a refund, which affected guests can expect to receive in full within 14 business days, guests are also receiving a 15% discount on board towards booking another excursion as a show of good faith.
Why not join me on the MSC Grandiosa cruise from Port Canaveral, Florida on February the 14th, 2026. It's 8 days and 7 nights with stops in Nassau, Ocean Key Marine Reserve, and Puerto Plata. The nice thing about this cruise, it'll be my first chance to be on the Grandiosa. That's one thing, but it's also has excellent pricing. Prices start at $588 per person, including taxes and port charges. Solo prices start at $738, or if you're solo, the package with drinks and Wi-Fi is only $1,052, including taxes and port charges. Dynamite prices on the MSC Grandiosa sailing February 14th, 2026 from Port Canaveral. Call me 434-258-9264, and we'll see you on the Grandiosa.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel.
Yeah, we don't want to do that yet. That's for the end of the show. I keep forgetting that's on the back end of that commercial. All right. That actually is going to wrap up the news portion of today's show. Let's see who's fussing at me over in the chat room. All right. So Hot Air Tom is here. He was talking about the breakaway, which, of course, was one of the stories this morning. Sonny's with us down in Mississippi. Hey, Sonny. Joanne's here. Good morning, Joanne. Hot Air says, just a conspiracy theory makes the change more interesting. Bob's with us. Good morning, Bob. There's Mike. How you doing, Mike? There's Gretchen with us out in Ohio, busy packing today. Have friends from Florida dropping in. Well, that's kind of a rough time for friends the day before you leave on a cruise. So That's on the agenda right after the show today. I got the suitcase out, doesn't have anything in it yet. So I'll get that done and get the suitcase out in the car. So that leaves one thing less that I have to mess with tomorrow. Hot Air says, Chillie's Cruises, I wonder if your laptop Bluetooth is on the Blitz. No, it's not. It was the phone update. Apparently, it takes time for all the crap to happen because it's perfectly fine now. And I've been in and out several times this morning. Once I had the signal back, I've gotten out a couple times too. So just weird. Can Carnival buy new Azapods on Amazon? That's a very good question. I've never searched for Azapods on Amazon, but maybe somebody from Carnival needs to check into that. Chillie will see you Wednesday. If you have to cut out early, we should be on board about 12:30, give or take. 12:30. All right, I will probably be at one of the bars. Guaranteed. Then I do a little running around when I first get on the ship. So just look for the fat guy in the wheelchair and throw something at me in case I'm speeding along. So, yep, I will definitely see you, Gretchen, on Wednesday. And there's Gary Older Than Dirt. I'll see him too. Hopefully, I'll see him before that. Anyway, we're going to see. I'm not real wild about this business of getting in at midnight at the airport and then getting to the hotel and waking Gary up, of course. We'll see. Katie's with us. Good morning, Katie. She's on her lunch, back to work. It just seems too early for you to be back to work. Hot Air says Elizabeth needs to post some pictures of her actually working. Let's see her behind the counter selling jewelry. She's having too much fun on lounge chairs and seeing weird dresses. Yeah. How about I meant to show the mannequin from Ibiza. Oh my God. That was a pretty extreme mannequin, I thought. Hot Air asked Gary Older Than Dirt, are you packed yet? I have my bag packed for Jim. Are you serious? I'm going to pack for Jim the same way I'm packing for a Grand Princess tonight before I got to leave. I mean, I did do my laundry and stuff this weekend, so everything is clean. Yeah. I've been sitting packed for a couple months. Wow. I'm glad somebody can do that. I can't. I will need to check it out to see what needs refreshed. Yeah, I think so. NCL Joy is still en route to Bermuda. I wonder if we will have its departure changed due to the storm later this week. Well, we've got to see, number one, how much this thing develops. And secondly, is it going to actually get to Bermuda? I mean, it's possible, and it's possible that your itinerary could change, but it's not likely. Gary says, yep, all packed except for the last minute stuff to throw in tomorrow morning. Still waiting on cabin number so I can print my luggage tags. I had to ask him about that, Gary, on another matter. And they says, oh, don't worry. If you don't get it, you can get them at the port. So we print luggage tags before we get there. I'm not sure how you could print them at the port, but yeah, I agree, Gary. That needs to be done. And they wouldn't. I got nowhere trying to get it for you. They basically told me no. So Roger says, do you have any studio cabins left on the Bliss Transatlantic? Well, let's see. The Bliss Transatlantic is that's Miami. And Florida. What do you mean? Oh, no. It's not 5 to 8 days. It's longer. Yeah, that was dumb. Okay, let's try that again. And you ask for a solo, right? Solo inside. Okay, let me go down here and see. Roger. Insides. No. There's no solos available. There are insides available, but none of the studios. And the current price on it's $19.33. So, but there's insides, but not studios. Now what you ask for studios? Roger, studio cabins. Yeah, no studios, but insides. So we can hook you up. All right. Todd, there's Todd. Good morning, Todd. Good to see you. All right. Emily's with us. Hi, Em. Keep with Chillie on this. The solo single rate has been on and off several times. Yeah, that's the solo rate I gave you for a solo inside, but it's not a solo studio. And I'm thinking since it's not showing at all, they're sold out. Emily says, hello, guys. Chillie has a haircut. Yeah, several days ago. Chilliescruises, the port workers have blanks. Oh, the port workers have blanks if you don't have a luggage tag. I can print blank tags and they will write the cabin number at port. Okay. Might need to be Chillie's cabin mate. You know, he's got a cabin that just they haven't assigned it yet. No thanks, I will sleep by the pool, Gary says. I don't blame you. Gary's putting up with me for the night before and the night after. He doesn't sure as hell doesn't want me for the whole cruise. So Emily says it looks very nice, Chillie. Yeah, I have to cut my hair short before I go to Alaska. No, I don't. I had to get it done. Here we go. Here's the next person. I haven't seen any X people today. Bawaro. Hi, how are you doing? We're doing good. All right, guys. That's going to wrap me up for today. I am going to do a show tomorrow. It's going to be early. I'm guessing probably 9 o'clock-ish or so. And then Wednesday, I have no earthly idea if I'm going to get a show on or not. Keep in mind that I'm going to be 4 hours late up there, so I have no idea how that's going to fit in. And considering the long flights up and getting some sleep, who knows? We'll see. But anyway, we're going to play it by ear. Try to get on if I can. If not, we'll do something once we get on board the ship for sure. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thanks for being with me. Don't forget, smash that thumbs up button. That would help out tremendously. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. It doesn't cost you anything, and that'll help us out a bunch. The bell notification will tell you when I go live or when a new video is posted. For now, guys, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon, we'll all get together on the high seas, just like Gary Older Than Dirt and Gretchen and Fred, some other people are going to do here on the Grand Princess. So, coming up. All right, we'll talk to you guys next time. Have a great day, everybody.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry, so if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, chilly chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.